Hey guys, Jenny with the Motherboard Mentor here to give you another video about WordPress. As you can see from my screen, also I'm not sharing my face today. It's been a weird day. But I'm really wanting to jump on here and show you what a WordPress backend looks like when you get your first fresh install. If you're coming from Squarespace or Blogger or Wix, this can look very foreign and look very different. So I just wanted to talk through what the initial install of a WordPress site looks like. So this is a staging site that I set up just for a demo. And as you can see, it's a fresh WordPress install. The latest version here is 6.4.3. If you ever come upon an update to your WordPress, yes, there's some fear that maybe an update will mess up your site, but unless you hear from a specific developer or a specific app not to update, I would always recommend you update your WordPress. So the first thing you see is this dashboard. Honestly, I don't get a lot out of the WordPress dashboard. They might give you some news updates. They might give you conferences coming up, but this dashboard is not going to be like a collection of analytics and data about your site. There are some apps here or like some widgets that can help you um, see high level things. So you can see here how many posts and pages you have. Um, Recently published posts. Here are those WordPress events. You can start a post here as a quick draft. I find that weird, but here we are. What I like to do is I go to screen updates here, screen options, and you can turn off things. So I don't want quick draft, I don't want events and news, and I don't want the welcome. I'll keep the rest and I will probably move them around a little bit. And then as you install other widgets, you'll be able to, some widgets will have as you install apps, and plugins, they might have additional widgets that will show up here too. So this is like high level dashboard for your site. To me, it doesn't give me a lot of information. And then what I'm just going to go down the side here and you can see the different parts to a WordPress backend. So the first thing you'll see is posts. This will be a collection of every single one of your articles, whether they are live, whether they are drafts, whether they are in queue, like ready to be scheduled. This is a little different than like Squarespace and Blogger, but it's pretty comprehensive when you have a lot of articles and you can see across here the categories that they fall into, tags if you've added that, comments. You can also click screen options again. You can choose a number of items. So if you have like thousands of articles, you might want to show 100 at a time. There's an extended view if you want it to be a little bit wider. Did not change that much. It did give me a little preview here. And then if you install plugins that have to do with SEO or social sharing, those might also add data items here. So if you click into, they always install this Hello World article. It's kind of like your first big brave post that gets added for you. I delete it immediately, but it will give me a good starting point to show you what it looks like. So this is the Gutenberg editor. It's like a drag and drop editor. It's pretty recent and lasts, I don't know, 5 years, I think 5 years. And I really like it because it makes designing an article so much easier. There's no HTML involved. You don't have to learn divs. You can just add a the process for adding an article here in Gutenberg, and this is the same editor that they use for pages as well. So if you browse items, you can see that you can add a heading. You can choose whether it's going to be an H2 or H3. I would not ever add an H1. This should be your only H1 in the article, but starting with H2, you can add different levels. You have text blocks. You can also use this plus sign at the top to add blocks. You can add a list. My favorite things about Gutenberg, and then add a list here. You can add a pull quote, which is cool. You can add a table. You can add tons of images. I like that, and I will go over this in other articles, but it's a very, very easy way to design an article. Then as you're writing, you can always preview it with this little preview desktop icon here. You can choose between what it will look like for different devices. And this is what it will look like when it's posted. You can save it and um, update it as much as you want until you're ready to publish it. So actually this is already published, so that's why it says update, but in new articles you'll be able to save and then publish. So you can change the URL. This toggle is very handy. It looks like a little book. There's like a page and a binding. If you click it, you'll be able to see 2 levels of data. You can see what is built out for this block. So if you click a block, you'll see there's the information for your paragraph block, size, dimensions, colors, heading block. You can change the lowercase, the case level. You can change what you want this heading to look like. If you have a table of contents, the block changes to your table information. So this block level is really handy. And then if you switch to post, it is the entire information for the entire post. You see when it's published, the URL that they assign to it. You can change the URL by clicking in here and changing the permalink. You can add categories. You can add tags. You can add your excerpt if you want that to show primarily a featured image. So this toggle here is very handy for the information about your post and about your blocks. So I'm going to get out of here, but hopefully this was a kind of a quick overview about the Gutenberg editor. You can see, you can add a new post underneath categories, tags. It's very handy if you already know the categories you want to set up for your site, just to write them in. Then you have a set list of categories and you can add as you go further. And then we have media, which is where all your images and videos will be stored. If you upload anything to any article or any page, you will find it here. It will store it here. Anything, PDF, image, video, anything like that, GIFs. And then you can either import them into future posts and articles, or you can come back here to like this library and access them, delete them, edit them, whatever you want. So it's handy to have one place where all those things end up getting stored. Pages is very similar to posts. These are not a page is, think of it like the structure for your site. You might have a home page, an about page, a page that's a category page. Maybe that you use it to send it's a collection of all your Italian recipes, and it connects to all your Italian recipes, but it's not the actual content of your Italian recipes. So pages are the structure, posts are new updated content. But the editor here is the same, Gutenberg. Comments, to see all the comments that come in, they will be held here. You can choose to have them publish automatically or to be screened before they get published. And you can see which ones are blocked or kept as spam, which ones are approved, that kind of thing. I forgot something. Before you do anything in a new WordPress, there's a place you should go first. So I'm going to back up, pretend like I did not say any of that. And we're going to go to settings here. Okay, so settings is probably where you should go first when you install a new WordPress instance. So let's start here. This is high level information about your site. And I would start with this. So site title, obviously, we're going to change your site title to what you might want it to be. You can add a tagline. This doesn't really affect your SEO, but it's nice to have. It will show up if your theme has a field for a tagline. You can see your WordPress address, your site address. If it's different, your administrator address that is on file. You can see when people are added as new users, what role do they get inherently? Can anyone register? So this is high level WordPress gatekeeping information. The time zone that's assigned to yourself, how it's going to show your date format, time format, and when do you want your week to start. And that's under the general tab. Then as we go down, we have writing, and this has to do with new posts. So would you like to assign your new post to a specific category or let it just fall under the uncategorized section? When emails go out, I would never change this, but this tells you when emails go out from WordPress, what port it uses. And then, yeah, so this doesn't ever need to be changed. It's just good information. Reading has to do with your posts displaying. And this is really helpful. If you ever see a website that has a list of posts on its homepage, like you go and the first thing you see is like post 1, post 2, post 3, and it's just a structure of posts, it's going to have this chosen. Your homepage displays as your latest posts. But you can also change it to a static page, which would be more like a website-y thing where you go to a website and it has like a block about me and then my podcast and here's some products. And then there might be a section for posts there, but it's a designed page. That is structured here. So you would build out a homepage, build out a post page, and then assign them here. And it's going to load those first instead of just a reel of all your posts. How many posts show? So if you ever have a website that has like a blog page and it's loading all your posts and they're like 100 in a row and you don't want to show 100, you could limit it to 10. And anytime there's a blog list, it's going to only show 10. Same with this is RSS, a feed. If there's like an RSS collection of articles that goes out, then this will limit the number there. Same thing here. If you have a blog page that's just going to automatically spit out your articles, then you can choose if you want it to show full text or excerpt. And then if you, for some reason, don't want search engines to follow your site, you can discourage that here. So then we have discussion. This is comments. So that you can have comment plugins, but the WordPress integration for comments is pretty robust. This is where you can choose if people are approved immediately or if you want to screen comments. Can anyone post a comment? Does it help for moderation? It's very helpful to start here. If your site ever seems slow, a good place to do is to turn off avatars. These are just little photos of people that show up next to the comments, but every image takes time to load, and so your site can load faster. So I like to show no avatars, just so my site moves faster because I don't need that. Media has to do with your image sizing. As you add plugins, you can have custom plugins for custom sizes, but these are the ones that come inherently with WordPress: thumbnail, medium, and large, and you can change the sizes as you like. Again, I wouldn't change anything here, but you can. Permalink. Now, this is a very scary place to be because if you happen to change your permalinks in the middle of your WordPress website being live, then all your links will break. So you can change it now. Nothing's been published. This is a really great time to set up your permalinks before there are any articles. But once you have articles, I would definitely recommend not changing or hiring someone to do it because it's very scary. I've broken many sites doing that and fixed many sites doing that. So what I like to do is post name. So you have your URL / post name. I don't think you need to add the date. I don't think you need to add the month or any random numbers. So because my website's not up and running yet, I feel comfortable changing these permalinks. But as soon as I have articles, that would be a scary thing to do. So this settings section is pretty important. Go here first. Sorry, I missed that in my top-down tutorial. Okay, so we are going to go back here to appearance. Appearance is going to change depending on the theme you use. When you install a WordPress instance, you will get the default 2022, 23, and 24 WordPress themes just so they look nice. It's not going to be a blank. It's not going to be a blank. You can see how it looks here. Design, but I would just delete these. And even if you're going to find a free one to start with, of course, I recommend Astra, and we'll have a lot more videos about that. But these are unnecessary. Keep one as you have it loading, but then you can click it and delete them. Again, less things to load that you don't need. Once you actually do install a theme, I will show you how this appearance tab grows exponentially. Plugins, as you add plugins, they will be available here. You can see their settings and links. Plugins would be third-party add-ons that help you improve things. Like you can have a form add-on if you want to have a comment form. You can have an SEO plugin to help you with SEO. many, 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 there are like hundreds of thousands of plugins. It's very fun, but again, go slow. You don't need to have 100,000. Find the right ones for your site, and I will have more and more videos about what plugins I recommend. Users, this should just be you and any other admins you assign to your site. But if you have a membership site, they will be shown here as well. So you might have a forum site or a membership site, and this will be a good place to see them, see the role they have. If people are getting accepted automatically and you didn't want that, or you want to delete some people, this is a good place to do that. And then lastly, tools are things that help you customize your site. Your plugins might also add information here because a lot of plugins add tool sets. So you can see import export features. This would be like if you wanted to move from Blogger, or here we see Blogger, Tumblr, other WordPress instances. You can use these tools, Site Health, which I rarely use this. I didn't even know this was here. So this is not something I use very often. And then you can see other editors here, which again will customize more when you have specific themes and specific plugins installed. So that's a high level view of WordPress. You can see it's very clean. I like the left sidebar. If you don't like the left sidebar, you can collapse it, but I really like it. The dashboard is nice to keep it simple. If you ever see updates that come through, again, with the WordPress update, I would definitely install it. I have mine auto install because I trust them. I understand if you're wary, and a lot of people recommend not installing automatically, but I like those updates as they come through. So this is what your new WordPress install looks like, and you're on the brink of a fresh new website. It's very exciting. I get very giddy when I get to this point. So congratulations and good luck on your new website.